The thought on player development, following up my thought on making things live, there's a few ways you can do so more effectively. The first is a semi-controlled environment. Some would say maybe a simulated environment. So for example, if you want players to understand what you're working on in context, you can essentially control the context. If you're trying to teach players how to use their footwork effectively against the top foot, you can close out the same way every time and show them it. That's a controlled environment. If you want to teach a ball handler how to run a better ball screen, you can control how the defense defends that ball screen so that they can get a visual, so that they can see it over and over and over, and they get a feel for how they should respond to the defense. But then you need to follow up with a more diverse environment, with an ever-changing environment, where you might close out with the right foot than the left foot, or high or wide, to show a player a different look so that they have to make the read like they would in a game in real time. Same thing with the defense, is eventually you have to tell the defense, all right, play it however you want. Sometimes you're in contained defense, sometimes you're in hedge defense, sometimes you're in switch defense, and the player has to make the necessary reads. So on one hand, you control the environment. On the other hand, you can make it an uncontrolled environment. Players, in order to develop, need both. This is true for players no matter what age they are. A fifth and sixth grader can work against a trapping defense and learn even though you're telling the defense that they have to trap. But they can also learn when you empower the defense to switch it up on them. It's the same thing for a college player. When working with our college players, we do both every day, essentially. We control what a defense would do for an offensive player or what an offense would do for a defensive player in order for them to learn context. And then we put them in an uncontrolled environment so that they just have to make the necessary reads and ball. Players need both if you really want them to be great at anything general or specific.